So let us get started. So what we have done is we have covered 2-3 things. So let us do questions around these 2-3 things. One is we covered about the virtual machines, we covered about the app service, and we covered about the functions, right? So if we can go and cover some questions only on these 3 topics, because these also have like 20-25%, right? So let me start with the first question out here, which can probably come in Azure 204 exam. So this is this question which is out here, tries to test that do you understand how to go ahead and create a continuous deployment kind of environment from GitHub or from other sources, right? So let me explain you this. What this question means. Just give me 2 minutes. I would like to plug in this. So here, this question out here. Okay. Right. I just plugged in my Wacom. Okay. So if you look at this question, let me open up this question, right? Must be I can show you some demos as well. And let me tell you that I have copied these questions all from the internet, right? And also when I gave the certification, these questions were there. So you are creating a CLI script. So that means we want to create probably a CLI script. A CLI means Azure CLI script means AZ login, AZ create. Remember when we, in the first class, we talked about that there are some commands of AZ which help you to log in, which help you to create services, which helps you to create web app, right? So first thing, you are creating a CLI script that creates an Azure web app. So we want to create a web application through the CLI service, and the web app uses the following variables. So there are 2 variables out here. One is, there is a Git repo, right? And another one is the web app name. So we have a Git repository. So probably this Git repository has a web application and web app, right? Now, the question here is that you want to automatically deploy the code from GitHub to the new web app. So the goal here is the following. So basically, the intention here is, just to quickly explain you. So you will create an Azure service out here. Okay, very quickly. This is what the intention is. So you have a Git repo, which is out here, which probably has some HTML pages, some JavaScript pages, right? You have created an Azure application, a web app out here. People who are new to Azure web app, please go ahead and see our Learn Azure step-by-step series, right? Now, what they want is they want that there should be automatic deployment. So that means that probably I should just go and run some command, and that command will create probably the resources, it will create the web app, it will create the service, it will go ahead and get the latest code and publish it out here. So he's expecting that this command you should know, right? And if you look at this question out here, in this question, you will get such kind of a drop down, right? So you can see here some commands out here. So first thing, if you want to go ahead and must be I can just zoom this. So right. So you will get, so whenever you go, if you look at the AZ to AZ exam, right, you would get such kind of a drop down out here. So over here now he has given you certain things. He says that okay, so which one of, so you have to go and select the commands. That, for example, you can see first he is creating a group out here, AZ group create, a location and a name, right? So normally if you see how do we create a web app? We create an Azure resource first. To that resource, we create a service, an app service. And to that app service, inside that app service, we go and we create a web app, right? So that means now, look at the syntax out here. AZ group create. So what is the location? West Europe. What is the name of the group, right? So this looks good. Now, once I create the resource, the next step would be to create the service, right? Just quickly, that is, somebody asked me that, do we have to know syntaxes? No, you don't have to know syntaxes. You only have to think logically. Now, look at the second step. In the second step, if you go and say AZ web app create, you are wrong, right? So you should say that AZ service plan create. First create the service plan. So that I will go and I will check. After that, I will go and say, okay, now then you go ahead and create a web app. So that means I'll select this one. And once I do that, remember he also said that you have to go ahead and do get latest. So that means I have to give the repository repo URL. But now here, he wanted automatic deployment. So this manual integration won't do, right? So must be, I won't really select something from here, but I would select the plan because this is the same plan what has been created here. So I will select this, right? And then finally, I will say do the deployment. I will select this. And while doing the deployment, select this repo URL. So this, why is this manual integration out here? So he will say repo URL and the branch master, right? So let me show you with the syntax, and then I will again come back here, right? So in the exam, he's expecting Microsoft people are expecting that you should go and you should properly select these drop downs in a proper way and then give the answer, right? So what I will do is let me go to my PowerShell command out here and let me demonstrate to you how to go ahead and write each one of those syntaxes, right? So what I've done out here, for each one of these questions, what I have here, or whatever answers I have here, you can see that's an answer. That manual integration is questionable. Okay. So what I've done is over here, also I have the Microsoft link also I've given, right? So I will go to this Microsoft link out here. Let me quickly go to the Microsoft link out here. This link out here, talks about how to do continuous deployment by using the commands, by using Azure CLI. And what they have done is they have given here a nice sample script. You can see there is a very nice sample script out here. And this sample script is extremely easy. You can see AZ group create, then AZ service plan, then AZ web app, add to that plan, whatever plan you have created, add to the plan. And then you say web deployment from that Git repos URL and branch master, and then you can go and you can visit the website, right? So if you look at the steps out here, first create the group, then create the plan. Plan means what? This VM, this website which you're hosting, is it going to be in an isolated way? Is it going to get created in a shared way? Will you create on a free plan? Do you need more standard or more advanced plan? So this is a plan, and to that plan I attach this web app. So normally you have a plan which you will create, and to that you can go and attach the other web app. So you can see then the web app and then the deployment. So when you get this question out here, just start thinking logically how to answer it. Don't try to by heart it. Again, I'm saying. So first is AZ app service plan you will select. Then you will select AZ web app create, right? Then you will, when this web app is created, you will say that this plan is attached with this, and then the deployment, and during the deployment, you need the repo URL and this one, right? So now let us go ahead. Actually, why that answer was confusing to me is that manual one, this answer, why it is confusing. Please, guys, you have to again verify yourself as well. If you look at the document what is given out there, this is not the manual integration should not be an option out here. If you look at this one here, the one document which is explained here, he has not given any manual integration, right? And clearly in the question it is mentioned, out here, automatically deploy the code, right? So that manual thing out there. So if you look at the answers, which are very famous on the web, it is people select that manual one, but I have my own, what do you call, reservations for it. But guys, go ahead and select the manual one, because I don't see any other options out here. I don't see, because Git clone is not an option, right? The Git clone, that is not an option, right? So what I'll do is let me go ahead and execute each one of these syntaxes one by one so that you can understand it, right? So I'm going to go here. Let us go to the Microsoft document out here. I'm sorry. So first thing, you can see I've opened up my PowerShell. Where is my PowerShell? So I'll open up my PowerShell. Remember, like this question, if you see out here, it has a very big weightage. So don't try to by heart it, try to understand it. So I'm going to go out here and let us try to fire each one of the commands. So first thing is at login. You have to go and log into the website. I don't know if they have given login out here. Looks like they have not given. Fine. And I think in the exam also they have not given, but you have to log in. If you don't log in, then you can't really do anything. So I'm going to go and log into this quest on interview questions. You can see here it is getting logged in out here, and automatically when the login happens, what he does is he goes ahead and fetches the subscription from online, and that says that this PowerShell command has now logged in. So you can see here he has fetched my tenant ID. So this indicates that I'm logged in. Very good. Now let us go ahead and create a group. So let us go to that thing, AZ group create. So must be what you can also do is you can on the telemetry. So for example, now I'm copy pasting it, but what you can really do is if you really wish, you can install something called as the AZ interactive. If you install the AZ interactive, you will start getting the syntaxes. I don't want to do it. I don't like AZ interactive, but let me show you how. Yeah, this is a very simple PowerShell. What I have here, yes, money. AZ interactive means let me install it. I don't know if I've installed it. Let me do it. When you like, for example, when I type here AZ and hyphen, it will say okay. It will give me IntelliSense, right? So you can see here it gives out a very weird window to you out here. But so let me go and say CLS. Oh, you can see that thing coming up. So clear screen. Yep. Let's see what happens. Right. Fine. So okay. So you can see now here he's giving me some help out here. But now look at this. When I said AZ out here, look at that. It has started giving me what you call IntelliSense out here, so that I don't miss out things, right? Fine. So I have already logged in, right? So I don't have to worry. What is the next syntax? I have to go and create a group. So let's type here AZ. You can see now AZ group create, right? So if you want, you can use this, but I will not use it now, guys. I really don't like it. So I can just go to my PowerShell out here. So you can use AZ interactive if you really like, but for now, let me just leave it. AZ login. Let me again log in. If you start working on real-time Azure, all these tools actually come for help. So here it is. So now let us again go back there. So AZ group create location something something something. Okay, fine. And you can see what he has done is he has actually created a file. So if you want, really, you can copy this file. You can go and you can create a PS1 file or whatever name you want to give, and then run directly the file. So you go and you replace your GitHub URL out here, you replace it with a token, and the web app will get created, right? So we can do it that way as well, right? But let me show you first, the individual way. So AZ group out here. So location, first thing, location. This is where AZ interactive is very useful, because now I don't know if I make a mistake like Europe, and it will give me errors, right? So let me create a resource out here, rest 1 to 3. So first one from that answer, look at this. So I'm now, this is the first thing out here, AZ group create. Oh, they just copied from MSDN. Very good. Location hyphen name resource group, right? So that command is done, right? So that's what the command which is getting fired out there. Right, and once the command gets executed, it says rest 1 to 3 out here. So must be if I go to my portal now, probably I will see a resource which has been created. Very good question. Do we need to install something? Yes, you need to install the Azure CLI. Sorry, Mani, I did not talk about it. We need to install the Azure CLI. So yes, you need to install something out there. Actually, before the class started, I did install. So that's the Azure CLI which you need to install out there, right? Yes, you need to install the Azure CLI. You can Google it and install it. This AZ commandlets, will remember PowerShell is only for execution, right? So this the CLI commands have to be installed as a separate setup. So let me go to my resource group out here, and you can see. I'm sorry. This rest 1 to 3 is created. So first command has executed successfully. Congratulations. Let's move ahead. So the group has been created. Second is now we have to go and create a plan, right? So I'm going to go and create a plan. but whatever plan I create out there, I just need to ensure that that plan is attached to that group. So this REST 123, it has to be attached to that group, right? So you can see AZ App Service Creator Plan, and remember, you don't have to by heart all this. So the name of the app, I will just give it here, App123, and to which resource group he will belong. So he will belong to REST 123. So REST 123 is the group which is created on the top out here, and just I'll press enter, and there it is. So now this one is out here. Now remember, the plan takes some time to create, so you can see the plan has been created, and well, he has created a free plan out there. Remember, we have different type of plans when you talk about services. Let me just talk about it. I'm sure that you guys know about it, but still let me talk about the plans out here. So these are the 4 plans out here. The first one is a free plan. So this free plan is limited to some 60 CPU per minutes per day. These numbers can change, but it's a free plan. You don't get charged for this, but there is a lot of limitations, right? So if you want to test something, it is good to have. Shared plan. Again, in the shared plan, the things are shared, and again you can see there is limitation of CPU and so on and so on, right? So it is better than the free plan. Less, you get charged less, but then it has limitations. Then we have dedicated. In this dedicated, we have basic, standard, and premium. So depending on that, you want what kind of workload you have, you can select, the standard and premium. I see a question here. Is there a difference between basic and shared? No, not really. Basic is having limitations. This does not have a limitation. This will just keep charging you depending what you have, right? And then the last one is isolated. It's not just seen out here. In isolated, what happens is he creates a VM, and that VM is in an isolated network. That is a first point, a separate VNet. It is there. And second one, in an isolated VM, he tries to consume the whole host. So it is like really isolated and only for you, right? So that's what the isolated VM out here. So these are the plans out here. So when that AZ command ran out there, he probably selected free, and I'm okay with that, right? Okay, so that's the first one, right? So next, after this, you will go and you will create a web app, right? So I'm going to go and now create a web app out here. So again, so now the web app, first thing, I will have to give a name to the web app. So what did I give a name out here? I gave App123. That is a service name. REST123. So I'll just give you a web app 123. Resource group is REST123. And plan is App123. App123. Good. So that's the second thing. So if you look at the question out there, if you see back again the question, you can just think logically now. So I first created the service, this one. This is the answer. After that, now I'm creating the web app. And when I'm creating the web app, I'm specifying the name and the resource group, right? Definitely. And this here, I have to also specify the plan. Remember, I have to also specify the plan, right? So that plan is again getting specified out there. So web app resource not found. Isn't that REST one? What was the name of the resource I gave? Yeah, it is REST123. Let me see out here. Has the service been created? Yes, App123. You can see out here that is an app service which has been created. And if you go inside it, remember, you can all create this manually. For people who are new to Azure out here, you can all go and create it manually. And this one, this service plan out here is a free plan. Somewhere it is written. You can see F1 free plan, right? Okay. What is this error? AZ web app create name web app 123. Looks like this name is not unique. So web app correspond. I'm not sure why that error. The resource. Let's see. actually you need a unique name for your website, right? So it will be like webapp123.azurewebsites.net or whatever, right? Now this webapp123 must have been booked by someone else, so I gave it quest font because I'm sure that nobody will keep a website name with quest font, right? So let's see. That's, you can see now that's green. All green means it is not giving an error. So that means now even the website has been created. So if I go and if I do a refresh out here, after some time I should see a website is also created, right? So good. So just quickly, just for answering that question, you first create a resource. Inside the resource you create a plan, a service plan, right? And inside the service plan you go and put a web app. So this is all done. Now the next thing is you have that GitHub out there. From that GitHub you will say now AZ deploy. So you will fetch the data from it and you will host it inside this. This web app has to be it has to host a website, right? Because if you look at the web app out there, it will give you FTP and everything. And remember that you can publish also through Visual Studio, but the question clearly says that it has to be automatic. So you can see that is webapp.questfont. And if you now go to the web app site, if you go to that website, you can see that's a website out here. That is an FTP out here. But if you go to the website out here at this moment, it is just nothing, so there it is, right? So good. So this is done. So that answer again, let me go back. So you can see, guys, what I mean to say is that if you really do AZ204 practically, your Azure knowledge will just go 100 times. If you just go and if you say, oh, like, what did I select? Second, 2, 1, 0, done. You won't get to know anything, right? So please note that sometimes I'll take one question out here and I'll spend around 15-20 minutes. But in that 15-20 minutes, you'll grow like anything. I've seen myself, I take one question of AZ204 and I try to solve it in 2 days. It takes me 2 days to solve it. One is that I don't have a good logic. I have to do practice as well. So if you take one question and if you really go inside that question and if you learn it, you will find that AZ204 really takes you to the next level, right? So I would suggest, guys, don't do, even if you don't give the exam, it should not be a problem. Yes, Amit, I have tried it and I have succeeded. So here it is, guys. You can see now AZ web app. So this is done. Now look at the last option, web app deployment. So let's go back to the website. Let's go back to the website out here. So there it is. So that's definitely the last one, web app deployment. Now for this, the first thing, let us have a GitHub page. Let us go now. So already I have a GitHub page out here. This is my page out here. I put a lot of things out here. So you can see in my GitHub, I have created one simple website. So this is a simple website out here, which I've created, and it has a very simple index.html page. So I want that this HTML page should be fetched from there and it should be pushed into this web app which I've created, right? Now the first thing, if you want to really go and push this thing out here, you need to voice gone. My voice is gone. Please let me know. I can see there's a thing out here. Voice is gone. No, right? Questfont support, please help me. So now the first thing is, if I want to do this automation out here in this GitHub, they give you something called as a key, right? So if you see out here, one is that you have to give the URL definitely, and one is you have to generate a public key and a private key, so that because without the key, it is very dangerous that somebody is going and doing a get latest and pushing it out here, right? So if you look at this GitHub out here, if you go to the settings, you can see there is something called as a deployment key out here, right? So you need to go and create a deployment key. I'll show you how to create it, must be. So I'll just delete this key out here. You can see a small link out here. You can click on that link. It actually talks about how to go ahead and create a deployment key, right? So it actually uses this SSH key generator, which helps you to create a key, right? So I'm going to go and copy this. Now remember that I have installed, the GitHub desktop, right? So that's why, I get all these commands of SSH keygen. So please ensure that you have installed GitHub desktop. So I'm going to go now to my command prompt out here. Must be I can do it from PowerShell just to be like, just do it from here. So Control V and yes, fine, I don't care about the email address, let it be RSA, whatever, right? And I say generate. So you can see now that RSA key is getting generated. It says it will go and push it to a file. Yes, so enter the file name. So I'll just say my key 123 file name and some kind of a key again, like, so I'll just put it something here. This key now, you can see that's the key. So it has created a public key which has been stored in my key 123. So in my D drive, you can see this my key 123. So I'm going to go and open this with Notepad, right? And I see a key out there. It's an RSA key and so on. Fine. So this is the key what he needs probably on the GitHub, right? No, you have to install the GitHub desktop. I'm not sure, but SSH command did not work where I did not have a GitHub desktop. So install GitHub desktop. So now I'll go back here. Yes, but Kumar, for some reason that SSH command was not working at my end, right? So okay, so here it is. You can see add a deployment key out here, and I can say deploy or some deploy key, right? You can see it clearly says that this should start with some SSH RSA. Yes, it starts with something SSH RSA, so I can do this. Using this key, I don't want people to go and start writing on my GitHub. It is just, I don't want people to push it, but I just want them to have a pull access, right? So I'll just say add a key, and the key is out there. Good. So the key is there. My web application is created. Now the next thing is I just have to go and say AZ deploy, right? So let us see the command out here. Guys, I'm not sure if this practical will run or not, right? Because sometimes, it's Azure is. So let's see. So where is my PowerShell command? Where is my PowerShell? Yeah, there it is. So that one. So here it is. We have created everything. Now let's see this. Control V. Let me first do it in a Notepad, and then we can paste it out there, right? Control V. So Azure app. What is this slash? I'm not sure where it came from. Not needed. So first thing, the name of the web app, right? So our name of the web app was, very quickly, let me go back there so that I don't make mistakes. So my name of the web app was web app QuestPond. Fine. My resource group was REST123. My repo URL, my GitHub repo URL is shivkoirala/simple website. At this moment, the branch is master. This considers the base branch. I don't have. Yeah, that's, you can see the branch is master. Yes, it's master. You can see here, right? Change your name in case. And then I need the Git token, right? So the token is the one which is in my file, right? So that's my token. Ensure you don't copy the spaces, right? Oh, big command out there. So Control C, let me go and see if this works or not. That key looks to be a problem. I'm not sure that key will go or not. So there it is. AZ web app deploy. Let's try to press enter. Let us see. So once if this is done right, it should automatically create a connection. Oh, some error out there. I have a doubt about that key, the way I pasted. You can see here, guys, it is giving me an exception out here. GitHub repository bad credentials. That's bad. Let me try like this. Let me go ahead and delete this group, and let me do it through the file. It is possible that when I'm pasting on this command prompt, right? Yeah, the email ID is not needed. Not needed. The email ID is not. So let me do like this. It's possible that I'm pasting out here and things are not good, right? So I did not take the email ID and the SS. So let me do like this. Let me go and copy that file which is out there. This is going to be a good R&D for me. So this is, where is the complete command? This was a complete thing. So I'll copy this, and how about going and storing this in a notepad, in a PowerShell file. Now that we have understood the steps, right, we don't have to really go inside it. So I'm going to go and save this as a PS1 file or something in my D drive, something like auto.ps1, because it automatically creates things. So AZ group create this. First thing, let us go ahead and delete our group. So I'm going to go and delete the group out there, the rest 1 to 3. I guess the slash is required. Yeah, possible, yes. I think I deleted the slash. Okay, I'm going to go and delete this resource group out from here so that I can create with the same name. Oh, what happened? Terminate job? No, don't terminate. Name of the group, rest 1 to 3, so that it goes ahead and deletes everything, and I can automatically create it from my file. Yes, yeah, why? Okay, so there it is. It is deleting, I guess. So yeah, running. So I hope it will get deleted, right? And what I'll do out here is, let me take that thing into my file out here. Where? Okay, didn't I create that file? Okay, auto, here it is. So I'll give the name as res 1 to 3. Web app name, I'll give it as my web 1 to 3. My token, okay, now over here, remember, oh, I don't know why this should be $1. That's a wrong syntax, looks like. PowerShell, Microsoft, somebody can go out there and correct them. This code, I doubt it will work. It has to be $. Somebody has corrected it. Must be, guys, if someone can go and give a feedback, it's the $. Is needed, right? Some problem. So GitHub URL, okay, this is a URL which is here. Okay, let's check. This is, let me try this out. It has to be in a double quotes. Must be I can take some PowerShell training, sometimes later. And now I'm not sure really. This over here, the key is here. Actually, this is the key. That between is not actually a key. So I will just follow my Control V this. That's the key. So it's not difficult to make a mistake because I have a double quotes and I have a double quotes out here. I'm getting so skeptic about this key. Let me take the whole thing. Yeah, I guess so. So I'm going to go and take it. I will follow what you guys say. I've never done this demo. I only know. So let me do this. I have not done this demo really, but it would be interesting to. So there it is. I'll take the email, but I know that I take the middle key. I never take everything, but fine, I'll take it. Okay, what is other things out here? This web app name. Okay, all this is rest 1 to 3. Oh, they have hard coded it. Very bad. Must be, it's fine for now. All that my resource group out there, I can just, I think this was a problem. This slash, I removed it. It can be a problem. So save it. I think I am all set. The key is out here. My URL is out there. And I just need to go and run this PowerShell command. And let me also check that if that is deleted, that looks to be deleted. Let's go to Azure out here, resource group. Let me refresh and let me just check this. Oh, that's rest 1 to 3 is gone off. Very good. So we are, let's go back again to our I think that's in D drive, star.ps1. Okay, auto, yeah, that's it. So now when you're running PowerShell files out here, you can't just say auto.ps1, so this actually loads, this / actually loads and then runs the PowerShell files, right? So I'm going to say ps1 out here and let us see. Oh, what happened? Missing hyphen character 3. Okay, let's see. Where hyphen repo URL. That is down. What happened there? He's not liking this slash out here, looks like. Let me check. Okay. Oh gosh, it has gone ahead and created something. What happened? Let's see. The errors. The term my web 123. Oh, remove. No, this my web 123 has to be inside a double quotes. I forgot this. My mistake. That's so bad. Now what has happened is he has probably gone ahead and created the resource, right? You can see he has created the resource out there, and he has done half things. You can see this one here is again a problem, right? Yeah, we can say quest pond web app. Fine, I'll do that, because quest pond web app. Oh, web app, right? And you can see now what he has done is, can you see that .azure websites.net? He did not get a name of the website, right? Okay, let me go and now let us go and delete that rest 123. This comes very handy as a group. Once you love PowerShell. If you are an admin, and if you know a bit of programming out there, and if you want to really go and do all your admin activities from PowerShell, you will actually love it. So guys, I'm going and I'm deleting this resource group out there. You know why? Because it has been half created, half done, right? Okay, so any questions, guys? So okay, well, I just covered only one question today. So let that get deleted, and if this does not work, right, I will really not try to solve it. The point here is, to answer this question, just remember the sequence. When you are answering this question, select the proper drop downs, and you should be good with that. My only contention out here is that this manual integration is something I did not like. I'm not sure really about this manual integration, because the question is deploy your code automatically, right? So okay, that is done. So how about now going and saying auto PS1? Let us run it. Okay, there it is. You can see the resource group is created. I think everything clean now. Looks like it should go ahead and automatically deploy it. And then after the resource, the plan will be created, the free plan. So there it is, F1, free plan. Yes, good. After the plan, he should create the web app. Right, so there it is. It's happening. PowerShell is extremely powerful. It's taking time definitely to create a web app. It takes a bit time. So there it is. Web app is created. Web app name. Oh, can you see that? Look at that. You can see now over here that slash is a problem. I was saying that document is not proper actually. That document, it does not even have that $sign. If someone is new to, so I'll go and copy this out here. So he has created this, but I can see the website out here, but that's like, but he did not do the other thing, right? But I hope guys you have understood it. Must be you can try to do it yourself, right? You can see now, I have got one more error out here, the slash. So I have to go and delete it. It will take a lot of time, right? Yeah, it's for the next line. Yes, that's right, Narayan sir. But in the previous time it did not work, so I put a slash out there. So I will not go ahead with this demo out here. But the point here is that this question is what that answer is, right? So that's the first one. Let us continue with the second question. So I'll today I'm trying to cover some questions out here. So let us try to cover. Let's take this one. This one is also an interesting question. Let's see that how many of you guys can answer it. Okay. I will look at the doubts later on. Let us try to cover some questions here. You are implementing a software as a service ASP.NET Core web service that is running a Azure web app. So you have a web application out there, ASP.NET web service, web API. That's what I will guess. Now this web API or this web service is using an on-premise SQL server. So there is some SQL server which is in your office, and from there he is using it for storage. Okay. The web service also includes a web job. For people who are new to Azure, this web job is nothing but a background process. So there is a web job also which does some updates, right? 4 customers will use the web service. Okay, so 4 customers will use the web service. Okay, so let me do it. Let me go and must be drawn diagram out there, because sometimes too many. So if you see, I really don't. I even at this moment also I don't know the answer. I know I have the answer in the notepad, but as such I don't know. So I have to read and really understand it. So you can see that the web service. So first thing what he's saying is that they have an ASP.NET Core service which is hosted on Azure, right? So assume that this is your Azure platform out here, right? And it has this web app which is hosted, right? Also, it has a web job. So there is a background process which is running. So also it has a web job. And this guy is connecting to your offline SQL server. So that's what I understand, on premise. So in your office, there is an SQL server. Probably from there, he's fetching data. 4 customers will use the website. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 customers, they will come and they will hit this thing out here, right? Each instance of the web job processes data for a single customer. So for every customer here, for this customer, for this customer, and for this customer, there will be a single web job. Means I guess what he's saying is that there will be 4 web jobs, what I understand, right? Okay, 4 web jobs. And each instance of the web job process data for a single customer and must run as a singleton instance. Okay, fine. So that means that he's expecting that there are 4. So the people probably will hit 4 web jobs. That's what I can understand, right? And Azure Cosmos. So Azure must be located in an isolated network. Azure must be located in an your VMs. Azure resources must be located. So what kind of service plan you will configure? Yes. First thing, very easy out here. How many VMs I will need? 4, because he has already said that. That's answered. What about the other one now? What kind of thing I will have here from the pricing tier? Should I do isolated? Should I do premium? Yes, isolated. Why isolated, Amit? Yes, good. That's right. But why isolated? Because, oh, everybody saw the word isolated out here. Okay, fine. Okay, I give you full marks out here. But guys, let me tell you, when you say isolated, means it is on a separate VNet, a separate virtual network. Please understand, right? And remember that this standard premium, they are also isolated. They are isolated VMs. I'm not saying they are isolated VMs, but they are on a shared network, right? When you say an isolated network, means when you select this isolated, it will go into your VNet. So that is the difference. Standard premium, etc. also can go on your VNet. I'm not saying that they can't go, but the isolated network is meant specifically for that, right? So good. So this again very easy question to answer. So you can see here, guys. Please try to understand the question, and then try to answer it, right? Okay, good. Let us take some other question out here. Let's say this one is very quite easy one. Let us try to answer it. Full snip. Okay. This one actually I wanted to demo today, but it's almost, I have only 10 minutes. I wanted to, but the one which is with the 4 number, etc., I can just talk about it. But like today, when what we saw that Azure login is a deploy. Once I show you the demo, you won't forget the answer, right? So here also I wanted to show the demo. Must be in the next class. I will attempt to do this demo out here. So you can see here, you are developing on software as a service. Remember, just for people who are new out here, you have the infrastructure as a service, you have the platform as a service, and you want to create a software as a service, right? So you have your own application in other sense to manage photographs. So the user uploads photos, I can see out there, photos to a web service which stores this into an Azure blob. So this is now getting stored into an Azure blob. For people who are new to Azure, in Azure there are lots of storage mechanisms. One is a blob, one is a file, one is a table, one is a queue, right? So this Azure blob is meant specifically to store binary data. to specifically to store non-structured data, right? And it helps you to do streaming. Streaming means, for example, if you upload a video out on Azure Blob, it will give you chunks of 4 MB. So let's say if it is 1 GB, it will store like 4 MB. That's so. So just quickly, Joshua out here, there are two storages where people can get confused. Yes, it sends in packets. That's right, Tejas. One is the blob. It can also store binary data, and one is a file. There is a file storage also. You can have a drive and you can create it. But this file storage, if it's a 1 GB, he will just try to give you 1 GB in one go. But this blob is like for streaming purpose. He will send you in packets, right? So fine, he's uploading on Azure Blob, understood. And the process to so when the photos are uploaded, they must be processed to produce a mobile-friendly version. Okay, so this blob's images have to be produced in a mobile-friendly version. So you need to design the process that starts the photo processing. So must be from this Azure Blob. Now remember, Azure Blob has a lot of events. Azure Blob created, Azure this and this. So trigger the photo processing logic from Azure storage event. So in other words, this Azure Blob, when you create, there are events out here. So he's saying that the solution is that you create in the create event, you just trigger this photo processing. Now this photo processing, probably I can go and I can create a function app. Remember function app we talked in the first lecture. Okay, so use Azure function with the blob event. But here is a catch out here. Actually, Azure storage event can't trigger function app straightforward. It can't really trigger function app straightforward. And a proper architecture would be, if you ask me, a proper architecture would be the Azure Blob should actually send it to something like an event grid. Remember, in Azure we have something called as an event grid, which gives out a publisher subscriber mechanism. So rather than directly making a call, first in directory call is not possible in a lot of Azure account types. Sorry, a blob account type. For example, you can see he has specified here V2, but some of them really cannot even make calls. They don't even have events, right? So probably the best mechanism would be that this Azure Blob sends it to an event grid, and from event grid, it actually goes and makes a call to that function app. So I find that this solution trigger the photo processing. I'm not sure how can an event trigger. An event can go and send something out there, and somebody has to listen to it, right? So this looks to be very difficult out here. So I find that this solution is not the solution. So if they are written out here, trigger the photo processing, blob storage event goes and sends it to the grid, and then from the grid he sends it to the function app, must be. I would have selected this as the right answer, right? So I'm selecting no, that this is not a proper answer, right? So this demo I wanted to show you guys that where in Azure Blob, why you can't go and why you can't trigger directly the function app, right? But today it's almost we have only 4 or 5 minutes now, right? Yeah, it no does not seem logical. Why? Because why can't Azure storage events trigger directly the photo processing logic? It can, if you want it, right? But it is not. So actually, I wanted to show this demo because when you go to that, you don't, in the function app, you don't get that event. So that's why you can't directly connect even that event, right? I wanted to show that, but must be in the next class we'll do it, right? Let us take this. Will the cost increase? Absolutely. If you add Azure event grid, the cost increases. Yes. Oh gosh. So guys, I want to ask a question out here. Yes, this PPT is there. It is already uploaded. Let me go through the questions out here. I have only 5 minutes, so I would like to go through the questions. Singleton, yes, I don't see any questions out there, so not sure. Too many messages. Guys, I want to get a feedback from here. What I was doing is in the previous lecture, I was going syllabus wise. Look at this, and I will go syllabus also. I will cover. Means I created a VM, I created an ARM template. I then showed you some of these what do you call the auto scaling features. I talked about function apps, the bindings, right? But when I look at the questions which come in AZ204, they are like really weird. What they have given in the syllabus, they have not talked. So how should I go? I want to ask here to everyone, Should I go like this? Like today, what I did, I looked at this question and I demonstrated you something, right? Should I go this way or should I go just syllabus wise? I want to know from you that how should I proceed? Should I take a question and demonstrate around it? 2-3 questions. Like some questions I don't have to demonstrate. For example, you saw the VM instances. There was nothing to demonstrate really, but must be like this one, the AZ, this one. You won't remember this if I don't demonstrate, right? So should I take the questions and the demo how it is? Syllabus wise questions. Okay, fine. So I'll cover the basic syllabus. Let me do like this. Let me cover the basic syllabus and then take the questions around that syllabus, right? Okay, fine. Done. Okay, I just want to get an idea because I have not done all these certification kind of things, you know. So, okay.